What's up, Gopher fans? Welcome to episode 8 of the Gopher Round Table, presented by Affinity Plus. Today we have Gopher Wrestling in the house. I'm Max McEnelly, wrestle at 184 pounds and from Waconia, Minnesota.
I'm Vance VomBaur, wrestle 141, senior. I'm from Greeley, Colorado.
I'm Gavin Nelson. I wrestle at 197. I'm from Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota, and I'm a junior, redshirt sophomore.
Let's go. Let's get into these questions. Redesign one piece of wrestling equipment. What could be made better?
I think we could all say headgear.
Yeah.
Or to not even have them.
Yeah.
I don't know why we have headgear. And then they make dumb rules like if you drop it, it's a point, whatever this year.
Yeah, that's definitely like one of the biggest changes this year. Like how much we have to, especially in the beginning of the year, just with the rule change, how much we had to talk about like keeping your headgear on, keeping it in your hands, don't throw it over to the coaches, don't like do anything with it, just very picky.
Yeah.
This year.
For people who don't know, there's a big debate in the wrestling world whether or not headgear should be used and should not be used, because in freestyle, which is what the rest of the world uses or does, they don't wear headgear. So a lot of college guys, including some of the guys on our team, wish there wasn't headgear, but I don't know. I kind of like it. I think it should be a thing.
You wear headgear a lot.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You wear it for freestyle, right?
I did. Not at Worlds, but I did for like the trials and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's to protect your ears from cauliflower, but if you come to the duel, that's about the only time you'll ever see me wearing it.
Yeah.
So
that's why you got ugly ears.
yeah, not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point of headgear is to protect us from getting cauliflower, yet everybody has cauliflower. So.
Yeah, it doesn't do much.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes a difference. All right, next question. To Gavin and Vance, what are some pieces of advice that you would tell your freshman year self?
I'll go first.
What are some things I would tell my freshman self? I don't know. I think I would say like the extra things really pay off. I feel like sometimes it's easy just to, just go through practice and just go through the motions and just go to lift and go through the motions and stuff and think that's enough and think that's really what's going to get you to the next level and stuff like that. But like Scott, our strength coach, says it a lot, how like this is the bare minimum. Like when you go into practice and you work your butt off and then you go into lift and you work your butt off and stuff like that, that's what all the best guys are doing. Like that's what everybody's doing. So being able to get extra stuff in, get on the bike after practice, grab a guy, get extra reps in, do extra lifts, do whatever it is that you want to do to get better and stuff like that, they really do pay off. And I think that I've noticed throughout my wrestling when I have really honed in on, doing some of that stuff, I've seen good results. So,
I would definitely say is what I tell like young guys coming in. It's hard to compete when you have a lot of expectations. So when you're young, you're being recruited. Everybody is on different scholarships. You have different expectations. You need to not worry about what people are going to think when you go out there and other people's expectations they have on you, and just try to compete to the best of your ability. And then, like, when I struggled my freshman year, I felt like I was wrestling with a lot of pressures, wondering what the coaches were going to think if I lost to this person, I barely beat this person. Like, it really doesn't matter. And then when I was able to make the jump right around my junior year, was like, I have such a great relationship with my friends, my family, my coaching staff. They're going to love me regardless if I go out there and lose, get whooped up, or I win a big match. And then you'd be surprised how free that lets you wrestle. You're not tight. You're not worrying about all the extra stuff. So, and competing's a hard thing. A lot of guys can wrestle really well, and they can't compete really well. And I think there's a little mental block there. And to the young guys, the sooner you can get over that hump, the better. So don't worry about that stuff. Okay, everybody's good. You're here for a reason.
Yeah, I guess mine would be to tell myself that it never gets easier. The practices never gets easier. The competition doesn't. Even when you got seniors who graduate, there's always new kids coming through that are, just as good or better. So I think just knowing that it doesn't get easier and that you always have to put in more work every single year to stay at the top. But all great answers.
Yeah.
What is the loudest environment you each have wrestled in?
Carver was awesome this year.
Yeah.
Carver was awesome. Getting that win over Iowa, and it was so loud the whole time. But especially, after my match, when it was done, we tied up the win. How loud the stadium got, but with like mostly booze and stuff like that, which was awesome. Yeah, no, that was a great experience. That was awesome.
Yeah, I think every one of my answers would probably be away duels, just because I like that when your crowd's like booing you. I think it's pretty sweet. No disrespect to the PAV. I mean, I love competing in the PAV, but yeah, I would go back to our SDSU duel like 4 years back when I was a freshman and I jumped in the lineup and I knocked off a good guy and we won the duel, and they thought they had us, and they were booing so loud after I won because I got up and celebrated, whatever. But like, it was when you can play the villain a little bit, I think it's even more fun. So I really like away duels, and then those environments.
Do you give them a nasty celly after that?
Not really. I mean, they just booed me. It wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I would also say Carver, but we kind of gave them nothing to cheer about. So I mean, it wasn't that insanely
loud when their guys were coming out.
Yeah. I think one of the ones that I have kind of underrated was Ohio State last year.
I was just gonna say
it was a close duel, so like
I couldn't hear anything.
Everything was going crazy. Your match, Vance, was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was one of the more underrated ones for me, at least, just for how loud that place got. But we ended up walking out of there with the win, which makes it even better.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one too. Ohio State, they have a really sweet venue, and I couldn't hear anything my coaches were saying. And I think it would have helped if I could, because when it came crunch at time at the end, like there was in wrestling terms, there was other stuff I could do differently, but it's just complete chaos. Like you can't think
for sure
ever.
One of my favorite PAV moments was I don't know if you guys remember this really specific match. When my freshman year, when Pat McKee pinned Eric Barnett against Wisconsin in the Wisconsin duel here at the PAV, when he got that pin, that was loud.
Oh my! His senior year.
Yeah, that might have been
that was his last duel.
Yeah,
and he stuck him.
That
was the loudest we heard the PAV.
Time facing him.
Those two always had crazy.
Dude, they would go
matches.
back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was awesome. I remember that. That clip from the PAV was up everywhere, and our fans showed out that day.
That might be the loudest I've ever heard PAV. Like that moment right there.
Shout out Pat McKee.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one. All right.
That was actually.
What are each of your walkout songs, and why did you choose those?
What's my walkout song?
Mine's
mine's Hot in Here by Nelly. I don't know.
What's your name?
I guess my last name's Nelson, and like I had some friends in high school who called me Nelly, so I kind of thought going for a Nelly song was kind of cool, and then
it's also sweet.
Yeah, now I liked Hot in Here. I don't know. Some guys go for like old slow country. That wasn't really my vibe. I didn't want to go for like hard rap or anything like that. So I thought that Hot in Here was a good one.
I mean, mine's Rihanna. Mine's S&M.
Perfect.
You guys know it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But yeah, I don't know. It just fires me
Kinda
up.
Speaks for itself.
And it just like, it's just fun, energetic.
Anyone who knows Vance knows that is a perfect walkout song for Vance.
It's pretty sweet.
It's a good one.
I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot the name of my walkout song.
Well, it's Biggie.
It's by Biggie.
Is it
Hypnotized by Biggie?
I was just gonna say I was Hypnotized.
I don't know. I just kind of like the beat to it. Basically, all it is.
That's all you need.
It's all you need is a good smooth beat.
Yeah.
Gets you fired up before you go out there.
Any Biggie song.
Oh yeah.
Good walkout.
Who has been the biggest influence in your wrestling career?
I would say for me, Coach Becker was my guy from the start who recruited me, and he's just been my my number one guy, like, throughout. And again, like, our relationship has grown over the years. I talk about competing. I think I compete better the stronger my relationship is with the coaches. And then obviously my family. Wrestling runs pretty deep in my family. Like, my dad's big influence, obviously, on me. As far as, like, my college career, I say Becker. My entire career, definitely my father, my siblings. But my little brother, Drake, I give him a call every once in a while. My dad, we can just talk wrestling, and they send me clips all the time in certain positions. Actually, it's funny, like, hey, you should try this in here. It's like they're always trying to help. And then, again, I can take it to Sanders and Becker, and then work through some stuff. But Sanders as well. But, yeah, I think just over the years I got really strong with the coaches.
Dr. D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, Vance's little brother is coming here 2 years?
In 2 years, yeah.
2 years. So keeping the family legacy alive.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, stud. I would say that the two people that I would say like are the most influential in my wrestling career, definitely my dad. He's very, very involved, but like in a great way. He did a good job ever since I was a little kid, always getting me in rooms with a lot of knowledge and people who could help me grow as a wrestler a lot, and has always sacrificed a lot. And my mom too, obviously, but like my dad's really just always there for support. And he was pretty much my strength coach until I got into college too, really knowledgeable in the weight room. And then my head coach in high school, Will Short, former Gopher, one of the greats. He's awesome. Coach Short, best high school coach in the nation, has been for years. Definitely the two most influential. And then our coaching staff is amazing. All the coaches, you can come to them at any time, any question, anything you need, and they'll pretty much, give you whatever you need at any time. So all the coaches here are great.
Yeah, I do second that. But for me, probably the most influential is my high school coach, Derek Sikora. Started working with me when I was in 8th grade. Super random how he got there, kind of just moved into where I'm from, got connected with some of the people from the program, and then came in and just kind of taught me the basics of wrestling, how to hand fight, how to shoot right. And, he kind of just took me to places that I wouldn't have gone if he wasn't there. He was the one who got me to go to Fargo, who made me try out for all the world teams and stuff like that. So if it wasn't for him, I definitely probably wouldn't even be wrestling in college. I didn't even want to wrestle in college when I was that young. But, definitely Derek for sure kind of taught me a lot in the wrestling world and mentally. And then, obviously once I got here, Kemmer came in my second year, your fourth year, third year?
Third year.
Came in last year, whatever, doesn't matter. Kind of just brought me to a new level, wrestling with a senior level guy who's, been in the NCAA finals, who's, wrestled on the senior level circuit. So he's definitely just brought my wrestling up another level. And, so I would have to go with those two guys.
Yeah, shout out my high school coach too, Monty Trusty. It's just there's so many people. I just forget.
It's hard to pick individuals.
It's hard, but I couldn't have asked for a better high school situation as well. And we've sent a lot of guys to college from our high school room. I appreciate everything he's done. He retired a little bit ago, but yeah, shout out him as well. And our coaching staff too, is just amazing. Like Gavin says, having seen the recruiting process now and how college coaching is, you don't know if guys are here to stay or they don't necessarily have a lot of pride in their program. Our coaches are here to stay, and they bleed Minnesota, and they've been here for years, and they're genuine people, which I think is rare to find in the college wrestling world. It's pretty much all about results.
I definitely agree with that.
And I like how genuine our coaches are. So
shout out the coaching staff. All right, next question. What is your favorite cheat meal, either in season or out of season?
Oh, God.
Here we
Vance,
go.
you go first.
I don't even know. What is a cheat meal?
A dessert, something like that.
Well, the Tony's burgers we get after the duels are insane.
Yeah,
I would say that's like
That's not even a cheat meal, but I just want to say, well, if
That's
compared
a
to the
regular meal for some
compared
people.
to the chicken and rice, when we get the burgers, it's night and day. Like those are
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
But if I
Compared to the chicken and rice,
it's
night
Compared to
and
the
day.
chicken-
Tony's chicken and rice is good. It's
it's good.
The burger,
something about a burger after a duel.
Aw.
everything's good at Tony's.
Yeah.
Go to Tony's.
But if we're saying like I'm gonna go get a snack,
And then there's fries.
I definitely just
Yeah.
go to chocolate. Like I do this dark chocolate peanut butter Dove, like little Dove chocolates. Those have been my thing. Or I'll make a Ninja Creamy and I'll just like mix chocolate in there. Which again, it's like been a healthier cheat meal for me this year than years prior.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I want to get into that. So,
The
I'm
Ninja
good.
Creamy.
Yeah. It's so hard to pick one.
He's got too many.
Too many.
Yeah, what are we talking? You got the sweets,
Yeah.
savory, salty.
Yeah,
what
I
do we
used to
want?
definitely be a big spice guy. I think like I would
Really?
always go for like Takis and hot Cheetos
Oh
and
my
stuff like that. I
gosh.
used to love spice, but I'm not on that as much anymore. Ma and I both big into Reese's. That's like
Can't go wrong.
The go-to. I would say if like I'm like looking at dessert cheat meal, I'm going Reese's and I'm going Dairy Queen. Those are like the
I was just gonna say,
go-tos.
you bring me to Dairy Queen, you give me a large Blizzard, you get Reese's, cookie dough, and Oreo,
Mm-hmm.
all in
all
one.
in one.
Try
Mhm.
it; it'll change your life.
Mm-hmm.
You ask for a little extra Oreo too, just for it.
No.
Yeah.
Spice is
Yes.
crazy,
You're-
bro.
you're-
I'm never
Yeah,
craving
I'm never
a
craving-
Taki.
Takis
or
is
something.
crazy.
My God. Oh, or I still do this a lot. I'll make popcorn and I'll put a little bit of salt in there, but I'll sprinkle a bunch of tahini. I put a bunch of
crazy.
tahini in my popcorn. I love
You know what
it.
else is that is,
So
is
good.
Chuck. Charlie Millard on our team. He has some crazy candy takes. If you ever want
Like
to
what?
talk to him about it. Like just his Takis and like when he
Yeah, that's fire.
No,
I
like
can't get
it's
behind
so
it either.
bad.
I can eat like 5 of them and then I'm done.
Yeah,
But-
or like this is the last thing I'm craving after
The Reese's peanut
Well,
covered.
I'm not craving
Well,
Takis
I
like
guess-
after a workout.
or
but,
not
like,
workout,
yeah,
but yeah, as
but-
like a cheat meal or
yeah.
something. Yeah, if they're spice guys, you're a spice guy.
The Reese's peanut butter cups, the big cups, but with the pieces inside. You ever had those?
Yeah, no, I've had those.
The big cups with the
big
Reese's
cups with
pieces inside? It's a little
Surprisingly, I
crunchy.
actually don't think
We're getting carried. We're getting carried
Yeah.
away. Here. We're getting carried away. Here. But yeah, there's a lot we could go to.
Or just a pina colada on the beach in Mexico.
Yeah.
too.
So just
He's onto something.
If you could go back and wrestle anyone in any era, who would it be and why?
At our weight classes?
I think anybody. If you could wrestle anybody.
It's a good question.
I would wrestle Ethan Lezak from
Ooh,
here.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because I think his
backpack?
his
That'd
be
style of
annoying.
wrestling,
Oh,
his
yeah,
style
he
of
would be
wrestling
I
annoying.
used to wrestle that.
was really really sweet, and I would just I mean I don't have to win or whatever. I would just want to like feel what that's like to wrestle him. Actually, I would also like to wrestle myself if that's possible. I'm curious.
Oh.
I'm really curious. What
100%. You would be able.
Don't
to
you
learn,
ever
you would
think
be able
that?
to learn so
You
much
would
by
think,
wrestling
like,
by
dang,
yourself.
this guy's really annoying to wrestle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
wow, I'm
would.
just curious. Like, have you ever thought that? Like, I wonder what it'd be like to wrestle myself. Because
I feel like I can picture it. Like,
yeah, you could picture it, but
You'd be able to learn a lot.
that's
would learn
really
a lot.
curious to me. So if that answer counts,
you could.
That's number
yeah,
one.
you would learn a lot actually.
I kind of want to go more upper weight just because obviously I'm a 197. I'm a heavier weight. Was Ben Askren a 184?
yeah, he was. I
No,
think.
yeah, I think he was 70.
74? Well,
His brother Max was.
yeah, Max was bigger, but I'd want to wrestle Funky Ben. See, like when he was in college, even though I'm a little bigger, but that dude really opened up some of the funk world into wrestling. So,
Yeah, kind of revolutionary to the sport.
yeah. We
Too.
got
I think that'd be
a bunch
sweet.
of the AWA boys here too. So yeah.
I'd want to wrestle Eggum.
That's such a homer. Homer
I
take.
did, If I had to pick one person to wrestle from back then, it'd be Eggum.
Yeah.
So just, like,
Egan was a
To feel it,
house.
he was a beast, and so
House.
I mean, I feel like me and him kind of wrestle similar.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would kind of be like wrestling myself, but I don't know. I just like to see. And plus, if I won, then I'd be like, yeah. But
Yeah.
no, shout out Coach Eggum.
Yeah, that's sweet.
All right, next one. What were each of your welcome to college wrestling moments?
Oh man, there's a lot. I mean, the first month I got here was brutal.
Some funny stories.
I mean, aside from wrestling, our first workout, like I puked our first workout. I think a lot of people don't know, but yeah, we did like the Versa climbers. I hadn't worked out in a while, but I got to campus and we did our lift, and then we went on the Versas, and then I literally went to the locker room and I was throwing up, and Gable actually walked past. And he told me that I wasn't going to make it 2 months. Like, actually, we still joke about it to this day. Like, they said that, but, man, I don't blame him. Like, who's this guy? But then the wrestling side of things, in general, I don't know if I got a takedown on a college guy that wasn't in my class. Like, a guy that had been on the team, I didn't get a takedown for the first 2 months, I think. And, I mean, Brent Jones still texts me. If you guys know, Brent threw me on my back one day, and I never hear the end of that one. Berglund would always whoop my butt, too, and all those guys around there. So it was rough going for the first bit.
You got one?
I guess I would kind of piggyback off of what Vance said. And
track workout.
I've been known to throw up here. I've been known to throw up here and there during the workouts, but I take it like a champ and I keep running. So yeah.
I remember the track workout.
I've had a couple bad track workouts. But
dude, those are insane.
I would rather do a track workout any day over river roads, though. I hate river roads.
I'm so far the other way.
Track over river roads.
I mean, I feel like river roads is so much more technique. If you can fly down the stairs, then you're like good at. I have bad ankles. I'm not risking. I'm going one at a time.
I'm a stair guy, bro. I can do the stairs.
Yeah.
Those sprints. There's like no end in sight. Like you don't know when Becker's gonna be like.
Nah.
Next one, and I hate running.
Yeah,
so
but you get like a break. Like
you do get a break.
You
do get breaks.
I like
you
the
don't break
competition
on
aspect of it way more too, because when we do those short ones, I'll dust Max and I'll dust Bennett right away, and then after
bro.
After a couple of those, then
then you're done. By the time we get to the mile, you're last.
Well, I'm more of a sprinter, anyways.
My welcome to college wrestling. I technically wasn't even in college. It was my senior year of high school, and I came in and wrestled Sparks one day, and it was like right after the high school football season, and I came in, I was out of shape, and Sparks, if you guys don't know, he's just got a gas tank on him. It doesn't get tired, especially in the room, and he probably took me down 50 times. He was like helping me up at one point. He was like, "Come on, buddy, you can do it." And I was like, I thought to myself, how am I going to survive college wrestling if this is what it's like every day?
Yeah.
But then, obviously, you grow and stuff.
You'd be surprised what like a couple of years will get under your belt will do for you. Or even like by the time the swing of the season was around, like I was fine too. But it was tough. But then even still, I needed that whole first year red shirt to like grow into my weight class. Yeah. Because man, like you're just not physically ready. A lot of guys aren't. You guys were probably fine, but at the lower weights, it's pretty hard to be like, I'm the guy right away. You have to really grow into your weight class. That's another thing with college. That's why you see redshirting so much in college in wrestling compared to any other sport, because you guys are stronger than you. You just need to grow into your class.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Now it's time for Slept On Shout Out. This is where each of us are going to pick someone who maybe doesn't get talked about as much on the team or the coaching staff, and just give them a little bit of love. So I guess my Slept On Shout Out would be our strength coach, Scott McWilliams. He basically like our team dad, like gets all our food for us, makes sure we're on weight, does our cardio, does our strength and conditioning, books all of our travel, does the budgeting, I'm pretty sure. So shout out to Scott. Also very good at, like motivational speaking. I think after like our lifts and stuff, like, Gav was kind of saying, he's talking to us about like, why not this team? And he's just always, positive. He's the first guy that you see win or lose after a match, to do your cool down. So just the mentality that he's got about his job and everything that he's got to do, and always putting the guys on the team and the other people before him. So I think he he deserves that shout out.
That's a good one. I think my shout out can go to Gabe Nagel. Gabe's just a great. He's a great leader for our team. He's a great guy that everybody can count on. You know, he's the type of guy who I remember specifically one of the duels. We had a double header weekend, so like we wrestled on Friday and Sunday. And this is a small thing, but like I put my my zip up, my maroon pants and my zip up top in the laundry, so I didn't have it. And Gabe's sitting right next to me. He's like, "You got mine, man. Like, you don't have to worry about. I don't have to suit up today. You can have mine." And just stuff like that. Gabe's, you can always count on him for a ride. You can always count on him for a good partner any day. You know, you need someone to go with. Obviously, if you're a bigger guy and he's around your weight class, and just overall, yeah, Gabe's a
Grape.
yeah, grape. Gabe's a great guy to count on for anything.
Shout out Grape.
Yep.
I would say probably one of the freshmen, Brett Swenson. If for those of you who don't know, like he had a brain surgery, he had a stroke, right?
Yeah.
Summer.
Yeah.
And so he's had to not allow his heart rate to get over a certain amount. Like, it's completely been off the mat wrestling, and you can imagine what that's like, not having your sport taken away from you. And then you see him doing cardio all the time and, like, doing everything he can, like stance motion, lifting. And then I drilled with him for the first time when he could drill back a little bit. And you could just see, like, how happy he was to be out there. We ended up drilling for a long time because he just wanted to keep working on stuff. And, you know, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel takes a lot. Being in that position, he's worked his butt off, so I'm proud of him. I think Cody Arnold, another one that goes behind closed doors, a director of ops. He does a lot for our program as well. That just doesn't get talked about. You know, he did with all of our travel as well, and then our gear, setting stuff up in the summer with camps and everything. Like, there's a lot of people that go into this program that it functions as a machine, and but you only see the front. So, a little shout out to Cody there. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys to talk about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jager getting his weight down,
Shout out
wrestling
Jager.
33. Shout out Jager, my roommate.
Yep.
It was not easy for him to do either, and he's worked his butt off with his diet and his mindset these last couple months. So, yeah, we have a great team overall. But yeah,
Shout out the whole
few
team.
guys.
Okay, and then closing it off, that's all for episode 8 of the Gopher Round Table. Remember, always, go Gophers.
Sky your mouth.